Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe, and I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. I am bringing to you a series of videos that are actually on my YouTube channel. I made them for YouTube, so it's going to say YouTube and stuff like that in it, but I decided, because I'm really liking these, that I wanted to publish them also on the podcast. So the next few will be, shorter little audios, little episodes. They're between like 15 and 20 minutes long. And it's on Chakra Magic. So if you've already caught it on the on the YouTube channel, well, then maybe you'll get something else by listening to it. And so this one is going to be root chakra. And then over the next few days, I'll be dropping sacral, solar plexus, and heart. And then it's going to be, I'm going to do them weekly. So look for them as you're going forward over the next weeks. And I have some great guests coming up for you. So here we go with root chakra magic. If you would like to learn more about the root chakra, including how you can have a more magical relationship and more manifestation-oriented relationship with your root chakra, then stay tuned to this video. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life YouTube channel. This channel is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, the unconditional love of the universe, and magic. Did I say magic? Let me say magic again, because that's what we're talking about as we talk about the aura and the energy system in this series. Now, my name is Tricia Carr. I am the host of this channel. I am a multidimensional medium, empathic channel, spiritual teacher, animal telepath, and hypnotherapist. And I'm offering this little bit of a series inside of my YouTube channel on the chakra system, which is how the aura actually manifests itself, is through the chakras. And I'm offering it because I wanted to just do something that might be a little bit different on each of the energy centers or the chakras. So I will cover some of what is the typical stuff in case you are just wanting to come here for a quick reference, but I'm also going to see if there's a little piece of information that is brand new from Spirit. And having said that, there is also a playlist below that you'll be able to find all of this series in. And in addition to that, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, share, comment, and click the little bell so that you can get notifications when I post more videos like this or others. And if you do like this content, please share it with others, because I would love to meet your friends too. So let's get into the root chakra. Your root chakra is your communication with the earth, as well as with manifestation. Now, manifestation is something that we say a lot in personal development and spiritual development. It's a part of the mystical and metaphysical path to intentionally manifest. But I also want you to think of, when you say or hear the word manifest or manifestation, I want you to think materialization. Material, bringing something that is non-material or spiritual or energetic into material reality. And so your root chakra is actually your communication to material, to the earth and the material elemental composition of everything. So your root chakra is very important in your magical practice. Having a more magical relationship with your root chakra will enhance your manifestation 1,000,000 times. It is the flow that we need in order to be able to be powered up in our magical manifestation. So let's talk about some of those general characteristics of the root chakra. The root chakra is seated at the perineum, a part of which, connected to the body, it is the perineum. If you want to know what the perineum is, it's the taint, the taintal area. But it's basically around at your seat, in the seated area. But it's also associated with the tip of the tailbone. So it is sort of like all the energy of it is that whole area. And so there is overlap between the energy centers, because the one that is just vertically above the root chakra is the sacral. And so the sacral is kind of in that area as well. These are not like rigid alignments. They are moving. They're very alive. These chakras are. But that's basically where your root chakra is. Now, the color that is associated with the root chakra is red. tends to be, well, this is kind of orange. But somewhere along that, between that and the color of my top. My color therapy isn't spot on because I don't have a lot of red in my wardrobe. But anyway, kind of like the garnet color is what I often see with it, but it can be anything from a bright apple red. And, it's really even the color red itself is a spectrum. And then as these energy centers, as these chakras are in the spectrum, like the rainbow sense, traveling across the rays, so going from red to orange, we've got a salmon color. Going from orange to violet, we've got more of the mauve and the pink colors and the salmony kind of color, or a different kind of salmon, but more of the mauve and violet red colors. So anyway, all of the richness of the color is truly infinite, but it has to do with the red ray of creation. The psychological concerns with the root chakra are really about being present, about being here, existence, being, and also safety. To be able to feel safe being here, being on the earth. And then, of course, grounding, being grounded, being present and composed as a human being, as a spiritual being becoming human, and then a human being becoming spirit again. This is the process that honestly all of the chakras are involved in, but since the root chakra has so much to do with the creation and how the creator and the creation interact, then we definitely want to have a more magical infusion into this root chakra in order for all of that to flow appropriately. People tend to overlook the root chakra, maybe all of the lower chakras, when they're thinking about spiritual development, psychic development, manifestation, all of the very cool, astral things that we are interested in, that you're probably interested in to be attracted to this channel anyway. However, it's really important for the lower chakras and the root chakra to be balanced and open and flowing that spiritual energy. Any blockage or any stoppage or any imbalance in the energy system will amount to a total blockage, stoppage, and imbalance, because your higher soul's purpose is to be present, physical, and manifesting in a material sense. So to be a magical being, you also need to be a natural being. And that is a big concern of the root chakra. I think people think that the higher chakras are the ways that we see psychically, experience psychic and astral realities. And that's true, but we won't really have the full experience of any of that unless we are also honoring the physical being and the human experience of being incarnated. So that's why the root chakra is so important, as well as all of the lower chakras. Since the root chakra is concerned in the psychological sense with being and safety, then we actually do need it to be open, balanced, and moving really well in order to be connected to purpose. Life purpose. Root chakra is concerned with being alive. And so it is very much involved in the manifestation or the materialization of your life purpose, your spiritual and soul purpose. I'm going to give you 3 tips that will focus on the triune being, the body, the mind, and the spirit, or the emotion. Spirit, emotion, kind of the same thing here. So 3 tips that have to do with how to work with root chakra in relation to body, 1 in relation to mind, and 1 in relation to your spirit or your emotional body. So let's get right into that, starting with the body. It's really important to have enough water. It's almost hard. It's really difficult to get too much water. Let's just say that. Although it's possible, because sometimes people who are at raves and they're tripping on E, I don't think they call it E anymore. I think that's an old person thing. I think they call it Molly. I'm an old lady. Anyway, people, when they are out of their proper materialized mind, then you can actually drown. But it's very, very hard to do that. So enough water is what we want to strive for. And for the most part, the good measure for enough water is for you to drink. You take your body weight in pounds, for the rest of the world. I don't know, I don't know kilograms that well, but in pounds, you cut that number in half and then add about 20, but it could even be more. You could add 50. So let's say if you weigh 100 pounds, that would be 50 ounces. Once again, sorry about the Americans using the English system. 100 pounds, That would be half of that is 50 ounces plus 20 more. So 70 ounces for a person who weighs 100 pounds of clear, pure, fresh water. Now, is this boring? I'm starting and I'm talking about drinking water. Well, then you might need to be a little more grounded. Your root chakra may want to really hear this information. That's how I get sometimes, where I'm like, get to the cool stuff where you're astral projecting. But in fact, when the information that we need to hear, sometimes it isn't as sexy as the other information. Drinking water will directly correlate to having greater spiritual experiences. Say it again. Drinking enough water directly correlates to having more evidential spiritual experiences, also more evidential manifestations in your life. So, drinking water and having enough hydration helps to keep the root chakra clear and balanced. And so does eating the right kind of nutrition, eating the right balanced foods. But interestingly, also fasting can be very beneficial to the root chakra development, because sometimes with our modern diet, we are encouraged to eat too much and we get backed up. And being backed up, so to speak, but literally, it also correlates to being spiritually or energetically backed up. And so we could have, kind of fuzzy thinking and fuzzy feeling, like density. So we're talking about ascension of body, mind, and spirit. So with the body, so far as up leveling the root chakra and having a more magical relationship, we probably want to drink more water. It's hard to drink too much, so drink enough water at least, and maybe add a little bit to that as a spiritual seeker. And we also want to eat a balanced, nutritious diet, free of toxins as much as possible, and then also possibly sometimes to intermittent fast, because that can be a great way to release toxicity and a heavy density to your materialization practice. And now for these messages.
Do you have a sense that there's more to life than what you can see?
Lightshine Spiritual Academy presents the Intuitive Intensive, a groundbreaking 8-week program designed to blast open your intuitive abilities and catapult you into a dynamic, connected, and psychic life.
Join spiritual teachers Crystal Ann Compton and Tricia Carr in this immersive program of education, high vibration, and group coaching. Class begins the week of January 23rd, 2022.
Second tip that has to do with your mind. I just have a few affirmations that I got from Spirit for whoever is coming to this video in all time and space. These would be recited in a mantra feeling manner, and they are as such. If you want to take a breath and repeat them after me, you are more than welcome. I am nature. I am one. I am here. I am supported. I am alive. And one more breath. I am life. So we have I am alive and I am life. Now, just a reminder, if at any time it is difficult for you to feelingly and abundantly say these affirmations, whether they're aloud or in your mind and your heart, then all you might need to do in that moment is to add a little inference to it. And inference means that we add a little buffer to it so that we can allow the mind to accept it. So you just want to soften it with a little bit of inference. So one example would be, I wonder how supported I am. Or, I wonder how I am supported. Whichever way. You see, if you say, I wonder how I am supported, then you've actually given yourself a little inference in the beginning and actually said the whole affirmation, I am supported. And then let that feeling nature just drop into your mind in the way that feels pleasant, a way that feels really good. Another example could be, I choose to be here. If I am here is not filling you with that resonant energy, then maybe it is better to say, I choose to be here. And finally, one more example of how to soften an affirmation with inference would be, I recognize that I am alive. I recognize that I am alive. Third tip here, how to infuse more magic into your relationship with your root chakra. And this is concerning your spirit or your emotion, your emotional feeling body. Now, we actually have that in both of the other two areas because, once again, the triune being of mind, body, spirit is interdependent. And so everything overlaps and codependently supports one another. Oh, not like codependence. I mean like interdependently supports one another. Anyway, moving on to the emotion. Here is a little practice that you can, if you want to jot down, I'm going to just put in the notes, but I would love for you to take this time either in this video in this moment or to take this aside and really have a beautiful time with it. If you could go sit in nature, that would be a lovely way to enhance this practice. But what you want to do is just sit, take a breath, and then just experience gravity. Just sit and feel gravity. This is a mindfulness exercise. You're going to allow everything else to just fade away as you feel gravity. Feel your contact to the earth. Take another breath deeply and easily. Feel gravity a little more. Another breath deeply and easily. And then I would like for you to just experience, visualize, imagine, have a sense of how everything is gravitationally magnetized to you and to everything else. The gravity is managing all of it. Now, gravity is a physical law, but as you connect to it in a feeling sense with your sensory cortex of your triune being, that emotional feeling body, in a neutral way, and then add to it just that wonderment, just that curiosity, and add to it just the openness and even abundance of how everything is connected with a magnetic pull, with the gravitational pull. That is going to help this beautiful balancing and attuning in a very neutral and really expanding, opening way for that root chakra and how you connect with your root chakra. Okay, a quick recap. For the body, we want to enhance our magical relationship with our root chakra by drinking enough water and having a nutritious and balanced diet. And sometimes fasting, intermittent fasting, can really help you with that. Second of all, for the mind, we have our wonderful affirmations. Those are also listed in the description. And to make those your own, make them feel really good inside your mind, because that will enhance it with the emotional body, and then to the emotional body with the triune being component of the spirit. Sit and feel gravity, and then feel how everything is magnetized one to another, including to you. Well, that's what I have for you today in this video. I want to remind you that if you enjoyed this content, I invite you to like, subscribe, share, comment, and click the little bell to get notifications for the others in this series, as well as other podcast excerpts that I have coming for you. And anything else magical that you would like to experience, I invite you to just make a comment on a video, ask a question, and I often answer those either in the podcast linked below or on one of these videos. And with that, thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.